The To Be Determined Show live Wednesday nights, 9 Central Standard Time. Join myself, the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Grand Design, Clyde Braddock, and the Magic City Monroe, Fast Eddie Layne, as we take you to the edge of uncensored. Yes, we go uncensored, so make sure you have your earmuffs. Ask your parents, for those of you that are a little young, maybe under 18, but make sure if you have any heart conditions or any mental defects, please listen, because they may take effect right here, live, every Wednesday night, 9 Central Standard Time. Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com.
The views and opinions expressed by the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, are of my own and no one else, nor do they reflect Beyond Ringside. So, ladies and gentlemen, due to the graphic nature of this program, listener discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday night. The To Be Determined Show live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, beyondringside.com. I am the Oracle of Ominous, the Architect of Intellect, the Wicked Nemesis. And joining me tonight is the coughing one, Brian DeFord. We're here in Xanadu in his lush little palace. My much better half, Angie Travis. Angie, how you doing tonight?
Great, thank you.
And the one and only, the producer extraordinary and host of Beyond Ringside, Fast Eddie Layne. Eddie, how you doing this evening?
Wonderful day. It's been a cluster bang of a week, but you know something? I'm good with that. Every second has the potential to be a great second.
It is always. Every potential, just got to get those brass rings and run with it. Eddie, big week in wrestling coming up next weekend, which we will cover. But one thing that everybody has been talking about in wrestling is Monday night. Monday night in Atlanta. WWE rolls out their Women's Revolution. Stephanie come out and put the Bellas, quote-unquote, in their place, and aligning and bringing up and promoting... Oh, I'm about to kill this dog. Aligning up and promoting the dog has no teeth. These goddamn fucking Nazi weenie dogs. There's 2 of them here.
He made it 2 minutes in, kids.
He took my chicken wing.
He has no teeth, and he just swallowed this damn wing whole. I'm telling you. See, this is why Hitler had a lot of weenie dogs. It's just for this reason. Dear God. Anyways, Women's Revolution being brought up from NXT. Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Paige, who was already there. Being brought to the forefront. I'm totally with this. I think it's amazing. I think it's great. Go women's soccer, of course, the national team. And go Atlanta for getting their own soccer team, or football, as they call it in the rest of the world. What do you think about the Women's Revolution on the NXT promotion, sir?
I think NXT has been kicking everybody's ass for the longest time, especially over the last few months. And the way that I look at the overall scenario is it's been long overdue. Look, I had a hunch a few weeks ago when the rest of the Divas division kind of turned their back on Paige. It's like, okay, when's NXT coming up? And I didn't know which ones it was going to be because they've got quite a few down there. But see, here's the kick in the butt. You have some on, and she just totally botched that move. I'm sorry, I'm watching Impact. Taryn Terrell just botched a move big time. Sad, but true. And they just, okay, for those who haven't seen the spoilers, they just put, what's her name? Hooters girl, Brooke, over with the Knockouts Championship, which not totally bad. I'm just not a fan of Brooke. Never have been. Emma has done well down at NXT. Just did not translate well to the main roster. And you have a couple of others who did well down at NXT and have not translated well to the main roster. Bringing up Lynch, Banks, and Charlotte, the way that they did, the hard, cold introduction, beautifully done. there is a difference between bringing up somebody in a to introduce them to the crowd in ring talent is one thing. But to give everybody a chance to say is like, okay, these women kicked ass down there. Because remember, Mabo on Beyond Ringside Live would tell us how Emma was solid down there and did extraordinarily well. It's just coming up to the main roster, the way that they've handled her character was horrible. And Emma is talented. I've watched her work down at NXT. Same thing with Bayley. Bayley at NXT, solid in-ring performer. Gets up to the main roster, falls flat. But I think it's long overdue. The backlash from the fan base of the WWE, and I'm sure as hell not going to say WWE Universe, but from the WWE fan base, the loyal, the faithful, the people who have watched, the backlash against the Total Divas era, the reality TV crap that's translating over, is finally getting through their thick heads. Finally. No, I'm not going to break into The Rock. And they finally stepped up and said, okay, people are pissed. They're vocal on social media and not in a good way, and it's been going on like this for a while. So I think it's about damn time. And I hope that they do this right. I'm guardedly optimistic about the fact that they will do this right. Do they have to have the potential to? Hell yeah. Do I want to see the Total Divas era knocked under the carpet? Hell yes. Because I don't care. I don't watch Total Divas. But it's time to do something different, and it's time to give the fan base something that they can wrap their heads around, their hearts around, and open their eyes and watch and be able to say something positive.
But that's the thing, is that women's wrestling had kind of been tossed to the wayside, just like tag team wrestling. We've spoken about this several times in length, in detail. I think I've written enough War and Peace blogs to make your head spin. Wrestling Aphrodite, the blog I wrote for West Georgia wrestling fans, and then later independently. And we also do a vlog for that. We do a Google Hangout, Angie and myself do, at the Bohemian Grove Beatdown Palace and Auburn Hills.
Well, see, let me give you this, and let me cut back in for a second.
No, why are you trying to fucking kill my joke? Don't kill my joke, Eddie.
I'm not killing your joke. This ain't Palmerdale.
That's great. Nobody gets that. That's so meta. But there was a renaissance in the independent scene, and it was forced to be upon NXT because of the way the NXT is going out and scouting talent, thankfully. And when they went out and scouted talent, there was great women's wrestling in the independent scene.
Right.
So all those women, thankfully, due to Shimmer and
Shine,
Valkyrie, they had a base. They had a pedestal to be able to go out and display their. We're about to have fucking a Wonder Woman movie. Did you see the goddamn Comic-Con shit for Batman v Superman? Wonder Woman's kicking ass. Yeah. It is time. It is time. Women rule the world.
Well, look, and
only I fucking tell you. And now, for NXT to be able to be promoted like they were, it is spot on, and it's about damn time.
Now, tell you what, I'm going to back off because if Angie's close by, I want to hear what she's got to say.
She does have something to say about this. Actually, she is upstairs right now. We ate Papa John's right before we went on air, and she's upstairs cleaning up while I'm live on air. But she does have something to say about it. So she will let loose whenever she comes back into the room.
Well, let me give you this. Let me give you this. And I wish she was around to hear it. Hopefully you can relay during the break.
I think she can hear it.
Okay. You mentioned Shimmer. You mentioned Shimmer.
She might be taking a shit.
Nope! She gonna kill you for that, Mohawk boy. That was wicktacular. There you go. Now we'll find another word. Wicktastic. That works. Okay, wicktastic. We can go with that. You mentioned Shimmer. I brought up Shine. There's also companies like Valkyrie, Women Superstars Unleashed, or Uncensored, depending on what week it is. Thank you, DJ Hyde. And then you've got other companies like AIW. You've got that has Women's Night Out. You've got companies like Chikara, Ring of Honor. That when Ring of Honor does have women on the card, you know it's going to be a good match. Chikara brings in very talented women, a lot of which you'll see on Shimmer, Shine, Valkyrie, and WSU. So the renaissance has been at the grassroots ground floor level for a couple of years now. But it's because of the fact, and you remember, we've had discussions with everybody from Tasha Simone to April Hunter to Angel Orsini about the factor of how women are portrayed on WWE. And because WWE is the biggest product out there, if they make women look like nothing more than half-talent hacks who look great in a bikini, then that's what the majority of the populace is going to lean towards, due to the fact that if the number one company's doing it, it must be right. But finally, they're getting the message that they're not doing it right.
Okay, she is back. Angie, how do you feel about the women's wrestling revolution, about what we saw in NXT, and as we talked about how the independent scene was very thriving with women's wrestling?
Yes, I enjoyed the entire segment. My thoughts were the same as Eddie's. It's about time. Stephanie McMahon joined, along with her husband, putting over NXT and, bringing this all together and incorporating the whole women's. It's great. It's long overdue. She put over women's wrestling. She put over the NXT girls, UFC, tennis, women's soccer. She incorporated it all, and I was glad to see it.
Well, you've been very vocal.
So
you've been very vocal on
I've been very vocal. I've been very critical. So.
Ask Mad Dog. Don't get Angie in a car after a women's match is terrible. Holy shit. So what do you think? And then it was 14 straight minutes. And then all of a sudden, that person wasn't booked. That person just disappeared.
Well, he asked my opinion, and I told him, and, I think now he doesn't ask as frequently, but he knows that if he does ask, I will tell him, the truth. So I have been very critical of WWE and their women's division and how they've represented women's sports in general. And I'm so proud to see this. I'm so glad. I hope they continue. I hope this is a revolution, and I hope it's on to bigger and brighter things. So great job. Bravo, Stephanie. Bravo, WWE. Bravo, women.
Yes, bravo, women. We have a guest this evening coming on at 9:30 Central Standard Time, or after the 9:30 break. Anybody knows the show regularly. If you listen to us on YouTube, thank you. Thank you to everybody that's been giving likes and shares to the Wicked Nemesis, to the Unlucky Charms, to the Merchants of Death, and to the Sevenfold Saints. Actually got a friend request from someone out on the West Coast, which looked like that referee from World Famous Flea Market. Now, CP.
West Side.
Check out the World Famous Flea Market. Check out Wrestling with Regret with Brian Zane. Those are two very good YouTube channels with wrestling. I know there's a lot out there. God Makes Beautiful Things.
Yes.
That's Luke Walker and
Vinny Vineyard.
Vinny Vineyard. That's a very funny podcast.
Yes. Those are great guys out of Tennessee. Yeah, they do really fun things also. Check those guys out.
Brian, you okay? I think Brian's Mia water went down the wrong pipe. Holy shit. We almost had...
It was the smoke that went down too much of the pipe.
It's like Phil Collins. One more night.
I was just trying to keep from blowing along.
Like blowing that front tire we had last night. Dear God.
Yes, our apologies to everyone.
Yes, that we couldn't make it last night. Nothing like downtown Birmingham, 5 o'clock traffic on the side of the interstate changing their tire.
Yes.
It is I felt like the turtles that crossed the road.
Well,
You ever play Frogger, Eddie?
Oh, God, yes.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
There's a line I could use right there, but I'm not
Airplane.
going to.
It's Airplane.
Yeah, I know. To which I almost said, you ever seen a movie about gladiators?
No, but I know Phil Collins. One more night.
Studio.
Yeah, that was my shit when I was a kid.
What was my song reference today? And I dropped the mic and walk off. What was it? The one and only contribution I've ever made, I believe.
I don't know.
You come up with the great ones.
I know we went to sleep this morning at 6:30, so I have no idea. It has been a long day. But Eddie, you have had the opportunity to see a lot of wrestling and a lot of women's wrestling. How do you feel about women's wrestling and the state of it as you see it right now, and let's say the next 3 years?
Okay. If properly handled.
No. Just how you think it's going as it's going right now. No scenarios.
If you look at companies like TNA, who actually, with the exception of the botched finishing maneuver, Brooke versus Taryn Terrell was not a bad match. And, well, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I'll just leave it at that. And you have companies all across the country that are working to put together good women's wrestling. And they're going to leave the dogs. And they're going to leave the dogs in the dressing room.
Can't stand these fucking dogs.
I didn't know you had Sawyer over there.
Well, that was the Angie spitting all over the laptop. This week we heard her about to jump, and she said hurl a table, which I guess she was turning into She-Hulk and going to throw it, or she was going to throw it up. But
well, no, that's a
supposed to be
short
hurdle.
No, that's a short girl's attempt to hurdle something.
I guess so.
We're gonna go for Spit Take FM here tonight, kids.
God.
In all sincerity, just stumbling across Paragon this past weekend, also watching the different companies that I do, and paying attention to the different companies that put their stuff up on the internet. There's some great women's wrestling out there, but here's the fun part about this, and this is where I always draw a little bit of heat. I'm not a fan of women's wrestling. I'm a fan of professional wrestling. It doesn't matter what gender you are, male, female, or anybody in between. And that same thing, I guess, now is going on with the UFC. Which, to me, that's just, I don't care how it identifies. If it's transgender, whatever the hell, had the surgery done, I'm sorry, it still identifies as a male after operation, and that should not be fighting in the women's division. I'm sorry, that's just not fair to the women that are out there. Rousey says she can still whip its ass.
Yeah,
hold on. Now that we read about that, we saw several articles about that the day after the fight occurred. Now look, I'm for transgender.
Absolutely.
I will call them whatever they want to be called.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to sports, I draw the line. Because that is, you can't do that. You can't have a 6'10", woman with a beard and a penis beating up on somebody that's 5'3".
That would be like you and I getting into, an event, it would be.
It's just, you end up breaking your knuckle, right?
Yeah.
My money's on the redhead.
I was going to say now, if Paulina were to go at it, it'd be, that'd be even.
That's because he's a pussy.
Well, exactly.
My money's on the redhead.
Thank you. But yeah, no, I do agree with that. There are issues like that need to be addressed and stopped.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. And this is the most political that I'm going to get. And for everybody listening, this is my opinion, and you're entitled to yours.
My opinion. That's just our opinion.
Absolutely.
We have transgendered acquaintances. I wouldn't, me, I don't call them friends, but
okay,
acquaintances because I only call a handful of people friends. But people that I'm very nice to, people that I know,
and we interact with daily.
Daily, yes.
So, yeah.
But see, let me give you this, and this is where I'm going to get in serious crap. And I don't care. For anybody who has a problem with what I'm saying. Oh, speaking of.
Wrong channel.
Wrong channel. I'll let you tell him that. You saw who called, right?
Oh, yes, I did.
It's on you.
Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, the host of the Grubby Show the man that worshipped at the altar of Stan Grubb. I know Stan's going to hate that here now. I'm sorry, Stan.
And Enoch Siri, let's not forget.
But a man that really needs no introduction, but I would give him one anyways. One of the best guys I know, in all honesty. If you don't want his opinion, definitely do not fucking ask it, because he's going to tell you, and then he's going to lock your ass up, and he's going to fucking come out like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Corey, when the fuck are you going to get a mullet? That's all I'm asking. The one and only SmarkRage. SmarkRage, how you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing good. You know, it's too hot. We're here in the South in Atlanta, Georgia. It's 110 degrees. I had to take the mullet wig off. Maybe during the winter you'll see me with a mullet.
That'd be amazing.
I bet that is hot.
That would be amazing. Corey's big ass and a mullet. I know you're not driving a Cadillac anymore, but what are you driving now?
I am driving a 1957 Chevy with a 4 on the floor.
That's the year Satan was born.
Dear God.
I don't know if anybody knows that, but Satan was born in 57.
Yes, in Calhoun County.
And when I mean 4 on the floor, there's 4 McDonald's bags on the floor. Because I get hungry when I drive from Atlanta to Kennesaw.
And a Diet Coke.
Gotta have the Diet Coke so you
Jesus
can have that
Christ.
third double cheeseburger. But the main reason why I wanted to call in, if I could just vent briefly, because we didn't have a show Sunday night due to the power outage out in Bessemer, Alabama. Folks, we apologize. But just real quick, and I don't know if you guys heard about this, Alberto Del Rio no-showed a autism charity over the weekend.
Okay,
Boston,
Corey, you know more about this than I do. I heard about this, of course, because
I've
people lost their shit. But, Eddie, I don't know how much you know about it.
I've
you
got
guys
it.
know.
I've been in communication with Tony Brooklyn over the last few days.
Yeah, we want to know why, because we're hoping there's a really good excuse or reason. Not excuse, but reason, because, wow, that's messed up.
Okay.
So please.
So just real quick, bustinforautism.com, BUSTIN, forautism.com. My good friend Tanya runs that website. Her little girl has autism. It's a charity for autism. They had a bunch of wrestlers out in San Antonio, Texas. Alberto Del Rio was at Alberto Patron, whatever the hell he's calling himself now, was booked on this show. Gene Snitsky was there. Lance Hoyt was there. Tommy Dreamer was there. The card was a huge card. Great event. Great charity event for bustinforautism.com. Alberto Del Rio promoted it on his Facebook account, on his Twitter account. Hey, I'm going to be there. Come see me. Da 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 da. He no-showed. Nothing. And then yesterday or Monday, put out on his Twitter, nobody heard from him the whole day Saturday, Sunday, until Monday or Tuesday when he put out on his Twitter that he did not show up for personal reasons. Now, you guys are in the business. I joke about being inside more than you know, but serious. Come on, guys. Personal reasons, you don't call the booker and say, hey, I've got diarrhea. Hey, my wife's dying. Hey, this is happening. I can't be there. You just blow the event off, an event for kids, for autism. It just makes me baffled as a wrestling fan. Why guys like that do that shit don't get blackballed?
I think they eventually do.
It's a slap in the face to the business. It's a slap in the face to the promotion. It's a slap in the face to the kids that came out and see him, to the fans that came out and see him. But they had a huge crowd. They had a great time, and they didn't miss a damn beat. It just pisses me off that a guy would do this after he was promoted. After I promoted him on Sunday show, on Twitter, on Facebook, for the guy to just not show up. It's piss poor.
Corey, it happens more than you know. This just happened to be on a grander scale. But guys know I had a vasectomy on a Friday afternoon at 5 o'clock. And I was at GCW that Saturday night. or Saturday afternoon at 3:30. It's about to explode. Corey, don't do it. Don't do it, Corey. But
jump.
Pull the pin. It happens. I mean, it's detestable, even especially just to put it out there for personal reasons. You got to give a heads up. Always keep a booking. I tell everybody that. People that talk about taking time away, people that talk about this and that happens. Especially if you've already been paid, that's definitely a no-no. But Corey, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what his personal reasons were. I hope that they're really good. But that's on him. People like that should be blackballed. Also, people that get beat up by a wrestling manager that are supposed wrestlers should be blackballed.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
As are repeated offender or busted promoters who continue to take people's money and...
Yes. Like Terry Teague.
Yes.
Well, folks,
people need to be blackballed.
I just wanted to let loose. That was on my mind. I knew you guys were on. I don't want to take up any more time. Thank you, folks. One more thing. If you get a chance, make sure you vote for Wicked Nemesis as Valley of the Year. Guys, see you Sunday.
Son of a fucking bitch. Get him, hang up on his ass, son of a bitch.
He did it on his own. We didn't have to.
That goddamn fucking...
Night, night, Corey.
He's gone. That motherfucker got the fuck out. He's like, Valley of the Year!
He knew you'd kill him.
That motherfucker couldn't run if his life depended on it.
We'll have to tell Satan to possess that car.
Oh, God, yeah.
Hey, look,
We're
if the
going to
golden...
take our first break of the evening. When we come back, we are supposed to be joined by Dany Only, the Human Hand Grenade, the Harbinger of Hate, right here, the Tribute to Trevor Show Live, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Howdy, friends. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth, Fast Eddie Layne, with your invitation to join yours truly, along with Mark Mabo Bowman and the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, every Sunday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, for Beyond Ringside Live. Wrestling, mixed martial arts, sports talk, and a whole lot more. Keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com for all of upcoming show information, and of course, catch us on social media as well. Until then, we'll see you this Sunday, 6:30 Eastern, for Beyond Ringside Live on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Sunday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us for the Midnight Black Mass. Myself, the Reverend Dan Wilson, brings you the dark gospel of professional wrestling, uncensored, unedited, uncut, and not for the faint of heart. You can find out more about us at youtube.com/pottyhumor or subscribe at Potty Humor on iTunes and Stitcher today.
Now let's give this man his proper introduction. Without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best tag team wrestlers to come along in the last 15 years in the Southeast, bar none. He goes by several monikers, the Human Hand Grenade, most affectionately, and one can only be described as, in the most basic, broken down, if you were to go up and tell your mom, or your grandmother, or your aunt's mom, or your baby's mama's mama, the Gothic cowboy of the 21st century, the Harbinger of Hate, the Human Hand Grenade. Now he goes by the Southern Sex Drive, one half of the OLE, O-L-E, the OLE.
Our mamas would
Yes.
love him.
Oh, God, yes. My mom would like,
Oh, mine too.
oh, that's my motherfucker right there. Old Dixie Bastards. The man himself, Dany Only. Danny, how you doing this evening?
Yeah, I'm wonderful, guy. How are you guys doing?
Doing fantastic. Watched your match against the Sinister Six? No, Project
X, I believe his name,
Yeah. That match showcased what you are doing right now. Now, you've done something that a lot of people have not been able to do. You went through different phases, and each phase of your gimmick has worked. Your character, for those joining us, Big Bad Nationwide,
In Australia.
And Australia, apparently, thanks to YouTube.
Oh, mate, yes, a bunch of good cunts down there.
Dude, our YouTube, holy shit, Danny, our YouTube videos are huge in Australia, Thailand, certain parts of the United States, and lower part of Canada. I have no idea why, but thank you all to everyone listening. We're not trying to single anybody out.
Yes.
Those are what are called analytics and statistics. Thank you, Google. But Danny, how are you
Nice,
able
man.
to
I
transition?
love the Aussies, man. I love the Aussies. They're great, dudes.
Oh, yeah.
You could fucking drop you off in Australia and you would survive. So that's why you say it
fuck
is.
it.
The most dangerous.
No, I was in Afghanistan with an Aussie dude for about 8 months, and he's the coolest guy I ever met, man. Real good guys. Good cunts.
Now, we spoke to you when you first come back from Afghanistan. We spoke to you right before you left. We spoke to you right as you had your injury. You've had a few setbacks. How are you feeling right now?
To tell you the truth, the person we talked to last time, that person's dead. Right now, I'm the best I've ever been in my entire life. I just turned 36, June 23rd, and I'm the happiest I've ever been. For those who know or care, I was divorced in February of 2015 from Ashley, who I'd been married to for about 6 years, been with for about 8. And it was hard, It was a rough adjustment coming back from Afghanistan, breaking my foot a month after I got back, going through and what was the most dedicated up to that point I had ever been. I mean, I was training and working out better than I ever had my whole life with one leg, and I got into the best shape I'd ever been in with one leg, and I was ready to come back and just do everything I could. I mean, I'm not going to use the old cliche, take the wrestling world by storm, because it's overused. But I wanted to do the best I could, and I wanted to have fun doing it. And then got released from my foot Friday, wrestled at Dragon Con that Friday night, had a great match, cracked a rib, drove to Rhode Island Sunday, and broke my arm at Beyond Wrestling. And it was just instantaneous. I really felt like that was the lowest I'd felt in a long time. Came home, waited for a month and a half to have surgery on my arm. Had surgery October 14th, October 18th. Ashley told me she was leaving, and it was rough. It was a hard adjustment. I don't have any ill will. I'm not going to speak badly of her, but her leaving honestly was the best thing that ever happened to me, because it took that for me to realize that she was holding me back. And again, it's not to speak negatively of her, but there's certain obligations that a wife expects, and there's certain things that a wife expects that necessarily are not always conducive with the wrestling lifestyle. And when we first got together, it wasn't a problem. She was bartending on the weekends, so I was wrestling on the weekends, so it was never an issue. But, anyway, I realized now that we weren't compatible, and we were together for the time we were supposed to be, and then that's it. And, she's doing her thing now, and I've moved on, and I've got my dog, I've got my bike, I've got my house, I've got my friends, and I'm back and more dedicated now than even I was back when I had broke my foot. And, I got Eric Stevens, who is former Ring of Honor star, is now a trainer and powerlifter down in Florida. And he has him and his wife have a gym down there called Sarasota Barbell and Cotenreich Power Systems on Instagram if you want to check them out. But he's my trainer now, and he's got me on a diet and workout program. And I'm being realistic. I'm 36. Maybe I got another 4 or 5 good years of like trying to drive to shows around the country and get my name out there. And then after that, maybe I can take the Shadow Jackson route, and just work local shows, still be over, still be good, not be one of these old dudes you're like, oh God, why is he still in the ring? Actually still be a benefit and an entertainer. And, that's all I want. So I figure I got about 4 or 5 years of really hardcore stuff, and I'm just going to push as hard as I can and do as much as I can. So, yeah, I guess overall, dude, I'm great, man. I'm the best, like I said, I'm the best I've been in 36 years.
The match where you broke your arm is on YouTube.
I don't know what the match is, but there's definitely the clip of it. It was weird.
The finish of it, the last 6.5, maybe 8 minutes of the match is up there. I saw it. Where did I see it at? Where did we see that?
It
We
was
saw
on
it
YouTube.
somewhere.
Beyond posted off.
Okay,
I
guess
couldn't
that's what it
watch.
was. Yeah, I watched it, and it was just like one of those things. Danny, I love you to death, dude. You were part of the Merchants of Death family forever. You know, a personal friend of mine. You've had two of the weirdest fucking injuries I've ever seen: the shoulder and this. And to come back from that, and to come back from what you have, and to still be on top. And we've spoken about this. The first time, and for anybody that has no idea, first time I ever met Dany Only was in a battle royal. Correct?
I believe so. Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck told Danny to stand behind us. Orion Bishop looks at me and goes, "Watch this." The bell rings. He punches Danny as hard as he fucking can in the chest. And Danny goes flying out. Of course, he doesn't get eliminated. He fucking falls in the corner, grabs himself, you know. By the way, great bump on that tag match at the beginning of the match. That's a big old school grab. Hooking the fucking ropes. I love it. You know, that's how I go.
Well, that's because I didn't see him coming.
Remember that bump? I rewound it, and I was like, because everybody knows. Okay, Xavier Fate, Dany Only, they know this. Poor Doom knows this. Ace Haven stopped asking me a long time ago about it. When you send me a match and you ask my opinion, Pandora gets it the worst probably. I break it down because I see little things that, you know, it happens so quick, and especially when you're the general, because you were the ring general in that.
Yeah, it pretty much had to be. I mean, and not to take away from the other guys, you know, they were good kids, had a good attitude and all that. They were just really, really green. And Billy was kind of out of it. It wasn't his environment that he was used to, and he was cool with me just taking the reins. So yeah, I mean, I was the ring general in that, I guess. And like a lot of guys. Huh?
That's how it has to be, though. You are the vet. And you did very well at that.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Motherfucker, I saw that match. And you know me. I will tell you when you fucked up, as you saw my 5,000 texts I sent to you. Poor Danny. Danny's at work. And he gets about 300 texts, I swear to God, back to back to back to back to back to back. And I'm thinking, you know, Danny, after about 150 texts into it, I'm thinking, Danny's at work, probably. And here I am.
You ain't got to worry about that, dude. I'm on night
He
shift.
didn't have this fucking match. It's like you have. Do you remember all your matches?
Do I remember them all?
Yeah.
Hell no. I couldn't even tell you how many matches I've had.
Exactly. See, I don't remember any of my promos. Motherfuckers will come up to me, and I know they do this to you too because I've seen it happen, and start telling you about matches and start telling me about promos that I said, and I'm like, dude, I do not remember that. Once it happens, it's in the ether. I mean, if you've seen it on YouTube,
that's it.
It's cool, but I'm just like hitting Danny up with all these fucking things, you know, and I'm like Danny, when did you start doing the headbutts like that? Old school fucking drop down headbutts.
That actually came back when the Hate Junkies were still in Anarchy. I started doing it then. I remember Harley Race used to do a standing headbutt, but he would like stand up and put his arms out and just fall slowly like a tree. And for some reason, I could have sworn that later in his career, he started doing them that way. Or maybe I just formed it in my head, but I did it one day and somebody was like, dude, that looked awesome. So now I just do it. That and fist drops. My friend's a big fan of fist drops, so. But yeah, I did it, and I like the way it looks. I mean, it's just different. You don't see anybody else do it, so that's kind of where it came from. It's just something in my repertoire. You know, I'm definitely not a footsie guy. I mean, I think I've probably taken maybe 5-6 dives in my whole career, and that's just because I know I can't do it right. So, you know, I'll let guys like Andrew Everett and Trevor Lee, you know, guys who know how to fly, I'll let them fly and look good doing it. Me, nah, I can't. So, you know, it's just little things. I figure if I can't be a high flyer, which I honestly don't want to be because I don't want to land on my neck, and if I can't be like a super brute, you know, strong guy, you know, I'll be somebody different, just something different from a lot of what's going on. And that's mainly where the push for the Southern Sex Drive, the old Dixie Bastards came in. Is me and Billy have been friends for a long time, and you know, he goes by the moniker the Son of the South, Billy Brash, which is actually one that I was kicking around years ago. And, you know, we've been friends, and I was like, hey, dude, why don't we and you tag? And we were sitting there one day drinking Miller Lights. We call them sodas. We were sitting there drinking sodas all night and just kicking around the idea, and boom, there it goes. Old Dixie Bastards were born. It started out with me being his manager at PWX. And then, unfortunately, I was asked not to come back to PWX for a while. There was an incident a couple months ago, which actually ended up another one. This is another one of those silver lining things because something really good came out of it. Anyway, we did the show, we did the match. After the match, I changed clothes, stayed in character, and was sitting at the bar drinking. And anybody who knows me knows that that's not a very good thing to do. And I didn't do anything extremely stupid. I didn't pick a fight. I didn't attack a fan or anything stupid. I was just being obnoxious, and at the bottom line, I was being very unprofessional. And I was asked not to come back, and that really hurt, man, because like I had made so much progress, and was at the point where I thought that they were seriously going to start using me and Billy as a team, and I kind of shit on that. There's no hard feelings, there's no ill will, there's no heat. Everybody at PWX has just told me, hey, maybe we can work something out down the line. Your health is a major priority, but the good thing about that is I haven't been drunk since that happened. So I guess it took that for me to just realize, I can't drink anymore. I do drink. I mean, I have beers here and there, but I don't drink to get drunk anymore. It's just not me. I'm too old for that shit. I drink more than my share and everybody else's share in my 20 plus years of drinking. So I'm kind of over it now.
How long have you and Billy been doing the Old Dixie Bastards?
That match was actually our first match.
Oh, really?
Wow.
That was our first match as a team. We've been, like I said, we've been talking about it since I got home. The manager gimmick at PWX started, because I started going up to PWX to do commentary. And then I pitched the idea for me to start working with him. And then one night on commentary, I kind of just turned up the stank on it. And, it was super extra sleazy and super extra southern and a lot more drawl on my words and stuff. And the next show I came out with Billy, and it was funny because, when I came out with Billy, everybody boos Billy, and, they were all just giving me shit. And they were like, oh, what are you, his boyfriend? Because the Southern Sex Drive character is very ambiguous. It's very sleazy. I want people in the front row, when they see me, I want them to be like, fuck, I got to go home and take a shower. I want that reaction. And I'm at ringside, and Billy's in the ring, and there's this row of kids in the front row. And that's a kid. I'm 18, 19, 20 years old, whatever. But they're like, oh, what are you, his boyfriend or something? And I looked at one of them, and beelined it straight to him, turned around, shook my ass, and plopped down right on his lap, leaned back, kissed him on the cheek, put my arm around him, and said, well, I can be yours now. Everybody lost it. They went absolutely nuts. And then after the show, people were just coming up to me like, dude, that was great. That was amazing. And I was like, hey, I'm actually onto something here. Dany Only was cool. Dany Only, the hate junkies, the gutter pump gimmick was kind of cool. And then I just, the human hand grenade was just an evolution from that. It was me becoming a lot more aware, a lot more political, a lot more mature, a lot more grown up. But I didn't quite get the avenue that I wanted to do the human hand grenade gimmick the way I wanted to do it. That may still happen with another company in the future. I'm talking to them right now, and they've already told me they want me down there. It's just a matter of working out everything. So I may have a chance. It's nothing major. I'm not considering anything, but it's a chance to actually do what I want to do with this character. And the owner of the company loves the idea. He loves the promos I've done. He loves my Facebook posts, all my political shit on there. He loves it. So he's like, yeah, we got to get you down here, and we got to do this. I think we can do something with it. So I'm kind of doing, and I hate to say stuff like this because people automatically misquote it and say, he compared himself to so-and-so, and by no means am I doing that, but I'm kind of looking at it like how Mick Foley did with Cactus Jack and Mankind, and eventually Dude Love, and then Mick Foley. There were 4 different personas, and each one was identifiably different. The Southern Sex Drive and the Human Hand Grenade are 2 completely different personalities, 2 completely different styles, 2 completely different auras. And I want to be able to do both of them. I want to be able to switch gears like that to develop myself as a performer. And I just really dig it. But right now, it looks like the Southern Sex Drive is kind of taking the driver's seat for a while.
One of the great things about going to NWA Anarchy, and I'm sure you can attest to this, there they let you build yourself. They gave you the ball and let you run with it to a certain extent. They would pull in reins when they felt like they had to. The Enoch Tessarian persona and the Wicked Nemesis persona. It was great to be able to flip-flop back and forth through this, but we're about to talk about your new persona. We have a clip of your a pretty fucking funny promo that you did very recently with Billy Brash. We're gonna let you set it up, and then this is called professional. See, there's two people running this show. I'm the host, but the man behind the curtain and the professional is Fast Eddie Layne. Eddie actually has the promo. Danny, I'll let you set it up.
Well, this is a promo to hype up the show we have in Jacksonville, Florida this Friday at USWA against the Circle of Disrespect, the King of Florida, Francisco Chiazzo, and the Emerald Emperor, Simon Says. I know you guys are familiar with them.
Very.
Yes.
Me and Billy will be facing them in Jacksonville this Friday. So this promo was me using the redneck ingenuity of a tin can phone to get Billy's attention and make sure that we were good for this Friday. So, yeah, that's it.
There you go. Eddie?
Billy! Billy! Hey!
Whoa, what?
Hey, what are you doing?
Not doing anything, man. What are you doing?
Well, trying to tend the fields, but not looking too good.
Yeah?
Yeah, nothing grows, man. It's hot as hell down here.
Yeah.
Hey, hold on, man. Hold on. All right, had to switch to the cordless.
The cordless, you got it fixed?
Yeah, man, duct tape will fix anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, anyway, hey, you good for next Friday, right?
Next Friday. What's next Friday?
Next Friday, USWA, Jacksonville, Florida. We're going to do what we always do.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, I tell you, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go down there. I'm going to be sexy as hell. You're going to be tough as hell. And we're going to beat some people up.
Yeah, who we going to beat up?
The COD, Bubba.
Who?
COD, Circle of Disrespect. You know, the King of Florida, Francisco Chiazzo, Emerald Emperor, Simon Says, the man with the gift of gab.
Yeah, just like I said, who?
All right, you may not have heard of them. Don't take these boys lightly. Been around them for a little while. They're kind of tough. But we're going to go down there. We're going to have ourselves a little party.
Yeah? What kind of party?
I don't know, man. Hell, I ain't even wearing my own pants. Do I look like somebody that plans ahead? Just get us down there.
So I got to get us down there. You make these bookings against these two, who knows who the hell they are, and now I got to get us down there.
Look, man, I'm getting us paid. You get us down there. I got to go, man. I can't run up my minutes.
All right. I'll get us down there.
That you've got to see that promo.
Oh, it's amazing.
Hilarious. Hopefully, if this goes up on YouTube, we'll be able to actually insert the promo video into that. Eddie?
Working on it now.
Thank you, sir. I heard that ding! I was like, please, I hope that's what that was. Danny, you and Billy, how many times have you tagged?
One.
And for your second match to be against COD, wow.
Yeah, we're very familiar.
Those guys are great. We're huge fans.
It's going to be a walk in the park.
Yeah.
These guys, man, this is going to be a great match. Where is that going to happen, sir?
USWA in Jacksonville, Florida. Forgive me, I don't have the venue in front of me. Terrible radio guest I am, but Jacksonville, Florida, USWA. If you go to Facebook, type in USWA, you'll more than likely find it. And the flyer's got the Tyrant Dagon of the Dead on the front, and then me and Billy's sexy faces, me blowing a kiss at you, so you'll know it's the right one.
Well, if you could share that, sir, we'll certainly pass it along.
Definitely.
Oh, absolutely.
That will be up on the V2 Beater Turbine Show fan page here tonight, everyone.
Perfect.
If I may, that is going to be at the Maxwell Snyder Armory, 9900 Normandy Boulevard in Jacksonville, Florida. Bell time's going to be 7:30 p.m. this Friday night.
Excellent. There you go.
That's why I call him the Wizard.
Eddie, anything you'd like to ask Danny before we let him go, sir?
Do you realize you look like Hank Jr. in that promo?
I've heard that. I've heard a few different things. I've heard Shooter. I've heard Hank. I've heard Ben Roethlisberger.
I don't see Roethlisberger.
I've heard Jesus a lot too.
I do see Shooter Jennings. I do see Hank Jr. So if you're going in that direction, why not just go ahead and use "If Heaven Ain't a Lot Like Dixie"? I'm sure the ghost of Wendell Cooley will come out to support you.
Hey, he's on Facebook.
Actually, we've got two different songs, and it's based on whether we're heel or babyface. If we're running a babyface tag team, then we use Shooter Jennings, the White Trash song. It's got a good beat. You hear the whiskey jug blowing and all that. It's southern as hell. And then the other one is "Laying on My Deathbed" by Maylene and the Sons of Disaster, which should sound very familiar to Wicked, based on what he's got going around him right now with all the crickets and cicadas. Because that's how the first minute of the song is. It just sounds like you're sitting out in the swamp listening to all the bugs and frogs and stuff. And then it kicks in with some awesome southern rock. So yeah, we got good stuff that'll get a reaction. It's definitely that's another thing that I've always been a big proponent of is entrance music. Getting a reaction. When the gong went off, you knew what was going on. When the glass broke, you knew what was going on. So I want that. That, oh my God, that's who it is, and I want something that people can get behind and like. So
that's
what's missing.
Exactly, that is exactly what's missing. People
that drive,
they don't think about little things like that.
That will to do better and get to the next level.
I'll come out to something Disturbed.
Yeah.
Oh, I already told you, if I were actually going back in ring, or if I do something where I flip-flop back over to heel, I'm sorry, I Love the Way You Hate Me by Like a Storm. That would be me to a T. If you know the song, you know what I'm talking about.
There is mold on the lid of this bottle, and I've been drinking out of this for months. I'm going to go this way now.
Oh, gee.
That is great. So people are, what? Our
You're
international
still alive
viewers.
to tell about it.
Exactly.
Fuck that bottle.
Yeah, it's going in the garbage.
Dany, we appreciate you coming on this evening. How can everyone get in touch with you for bookings, fan mail, hate mail, for some sleazy pictures if they want to pass your way?
Oh, absolutely. I will accept all requests. The easiest way is book Dany Only at yahoo.com, which was established in January of 2015, and to this date has not had one email with a booking request. So, yeah, somebody change that.
I have a
Book
feeling
Dany
that's about to
yahoo.com. And, of course, Facebook, Google search Dany Only, Human Hand Grenade Dany Only, Instagram and Twitter, both DanyOnly. I think I got a Tumblr, got a Snapchat. It's all Dany Only. There's only one of me.
Dany, we appreciate you coming on this evening. Congratulations on the coming back. As I told you earlier, welcome back, Cotter.
I definitely appreciate it, man. It's good to be back. Hopefully I can, stay healthy and not be a shitbird and just continue to do good things. I mean, I said this from the very beginning. I had no I had no qualms, no misgivings, no misguidings. I did not believe that I was going to be a WWE superstar when I got into wrestling for the first time. And that's not the reason I did it. I didn't want to be a superstar. I wanted to be a wrestler. And I've always said from the beginning, at the end of the day, if I can look back and know that I wasn't a detriment to wrestling, that I didn't bring the product down, if I didn't completely lose my ass and go broke on it, and if I wasn't completely crippled by the end of it, then I consider it a success. I don't think I suck. I think I'm pretty good in the ring. So far, I haven't gone broke, and outside of 3 injuries in 10 years, I think I'm doing okay. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Dany, thank you so much, sir. Best of luck. Look forward to seeing you around the circuit, sir.
Absolutely.
The Southern Sex Drive. Oh, I'm sorry. Southern Sex Drive. Says I keep wanting to add D to everything. Southern Sex Drive, Human Hand Grenade, Harbinger of Hate, whatever you want to call him. Dany Only. Dany, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys. You guys take care, all right?
Take care, brother.
Yes, sir.
Night.
We're about to take our next break of the evening. When we come back, we're going to talk about, GCW, and there will be some Circle of Disrespect talk right here, the To Be Determined Show, live Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com.
Hey, this is Stan Grubb for WrestleRage Radio right here on BeyondRingside.com. Join us every Sunday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for myself and SmarkRage as we discuss the professional wrestling business from WWE, TNA, and all things in between. We'll have an interview here or there. We'll see what we can do to just keep you entertained. And along the way, we're going to have to bring up some emotion and make you think. That's what we like to do. So join us here on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see you at WrestleRage.
We are back live, the To Be Determined show, Beyond Ringside Radio Network, BeyondRingside.com. I am your host on this magical mystery ride, the Wicked Nemesis. Joining me, of course, is my much better half, Angie Travis. Angie, how you doing tonight?
I'm great.
And my producer extraordinaire and host of Beyond Ringside, Fast Eddie Layne.
Always working. Even when I'm off, I'm always working.
Oh, God, yes.
Kinda
Eddie
like
has been feverishly working off air.
Kind of like Matt Seidel in the Shooting Star Press. Always.
That is fantastic. We have to discuss something really quick before we go to GCW, okay? Was it last Friday?
Yes, I believe it was Friday.
What was the date on that?
Oh.
The 10th? I believe it was July 10th. Terry Teague is a guy that I watched get arrested. Actually, the cop come up to me. He was, plain clothes. He said, "Are you Terry Teague?" I looked him up and down. I knew he wasn't supposed to be there. And I said,
well, if anyone's seen Terry Teague, they know you are the absolute antithesis of what he is. So
and I said,
it's so funny.
I said, "Fuck no, I'm not." I looked him up and down and I said, "Copper?" And he was like, "Where's Terry Teague?" I said, "He's probably upstairs in the locker room." They went and carried Terry Teague to jail in handcuffs, in his singlet and wrestling boots untied, because he had been on Jerry Springer and his ex-wife or his ex-baby's mama, whoever.
She'd been looking for him for a minute.
Had been looking for him for a little bit. And he had managed to stay off the radar, and then saw him on Jerry Springer, tracked him down, and had him arrested for back child support.
That is one of the most white trash things I've ever heard.
So this happens at NWA Main Event right before we're recording for TV.
And what year was this?
2010? Maybe 2011?
That was everyone's clue number one. He's a piece of shit.
So supposedly he's booking a show, not an event, a show. And
this is the first supposed booking
show in Decatur, Alabama.
Yes.
Jesse Bell showed up. Tracy Smothers showed up. Shane Andrews and what's his?
Now let us not forget this.
Bad Boys Club.
Is it the one he tried to call GCW at first?
No, that was another promotion that he was running.
Oh, he was affiliated with.
He used GCWA.
Yeah, but he attempted at first.
He tried to use GCW and tag like Critter, Equalizer, and Will Owens as GCW people showing up.
And oh my gosh.
Yes, and that was taken down very quickly, luckily.
Yes, it was, thankfully.
And, nothing was really, made really public about it, but we just did because it set
everybody knew what time it was.
Because it sets precedence for this.
Absolutely.
He's running a quote-unquote show in Decatur, Alabama, and he has, a few people in there. Jesse Bell and Tracy Smothers, Shane Andrews tag team partner. I'm sorry, I forget his name.
Stephen Esteban Taylor.
Something like that. And a few other people. He books this show and runs off with the money and doesn't pay anybody. Nobody gets paid for anything.
Not even the ring guy.
No, not the ring guy, not the ring announcer. Nobody gets paid for it. He tucks heel and runs.
And not only that, he calls the cops because he knows everybody is about to beat his ass. So he calls the cops. Preemptively. And then hauls ass.
Yes. Because he quote-unquote feared for his life.
And he has the audacity to go on Facebook and ask God for forgiveness every day and just...
And then puts it out there that his wife leaves him because he deactivated his Facebook immediately when he goes on the run.
She should have left his ass a long time ago.
Then she calls him out on it, I guess, because, it was everywhere on every social media that anybody that we know that's a independent wrestler, it spread like wildfire. This is what I'm telling everybody. Know your promoter. Know who the fuck you're working for. Know right up front. If there's something shady going on, get at least half your money up front. I don't give a fuck.
And I see these people on Facebook who say all the time, I'll work for anybody. I don't care who you are. You better care who they are.
Fuck
you better
yeah.
look at your Facebook news feed and see who everybody's saying didn't pay you, you know, because that's how these people continue, is stupid shit like that. People that just, you know, get promised a booking on a Facebook message and, you know, so please pay attention. Don't just take any booking if you're going to get paid. If you're going to get paid, then you get paid up front. You know,
Or at least
please use your brain, people. I'm a wrestling fan, and these are things that I notice, and, you know, please use your head.
Any thoughts on this, Eddie?
As one who has had to pull a gun, figuratively speaking, baseball bat,
You meant for real.
a baseball bat for real, on a promoter who said he didn't have my money after I had a full PA rig there. And no, you don't know him. At least I don't think you do. It's actually been about, 10 years ago. 15.
But I know what it takes for you to unload all that and
Yeah,
set it
buddy.
up.
It was a trip I made to Mississippi.
Wow.
Needless to say, I got my money.
Good.
Because he figured I was going to be a rube about it. It's like, well, just get back in touch with me and I'll go ahead. It's like, bitch, I just drove from Alabama halfway across Mississippi to do this show. Normally, I charge blank. And I'm doing this for you because it's a startup for blank. One of two things is going to happen. Either I'm going to get my money, or you're going to have a really pissed off DJ with a Louisville Slugger in his hand.
Yeah, I mean,
About a minute and a half later, I had my money. Never
people
heard.
underestimate you sometimes, I think. They don't know what you're capable of.
When there's three things in this world you DNF. Do not F with my money. And that's number 3. Don't F with my family. Don't F with my friends. Don't F with my money. If you do, you get F'd up. Sorry for those who thought the obligatory F-bomb was going to be taking place right there. Sorry, that would have been way too many for one sitting. I'd have been making up for the next 4 weeks, and I figured I'd take it all one at a fucking time.
Yes, sir, I understand.
There you go. No, yeah, I've had that happen before. And I have a very unique situation in play. If it's somebody I don't know, it doesn't matter if it's wrestling, it doesn't matter if it's a birthday party, a wedding reception, or whatever. I have a contract appearance agreement, and you pay me half in advance. And if you're going to pay me by check, guess what? That check will go through the next business day, and if it doesn't, we're going to have a problem. Because I have a family friend who's a lawyer who loves eating people like that for lunch.
You know, I think if people have a problem with that, that is so reasonable. Then you don't want to do business with them anyway, you know? So, I feel you.
Wick, how many people have you had to kill?
Sir?
How many people have you had to kill?
I've always gotten paid. At the beginning, of course, I had to, quote-unquote, pay my dues. So I worked for free, or I worked for $5. That changed when I noticeably started putting butts in the seat. Because guess what? When you start putting butts in the seats and it's noticeable to everybody, there's no denying. So you're getting paid. And I've only had one promoter even out like he wasn't going to pay me. And I said, you're going to pay me. And you know what? If you don't, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say whatever I want to on the microphone. He said, well, you're just not in the budget. I said, okay. I understand. That's fine. And then they give me a live microphone. It is on YouTube.
Yes, that footage is on YouTube, and it is one of my absolute favorites.
That's the one another time.
Yes.
Because I didn't even ask to. They booked me. So yes, that footage is on YouTube. You can check it out. The Wicked Nemesis, Nach Tessarian.
I fell in love with you all over again that day.
But GCW, I believe the date is July 25th.
Yes.
Mike Cruz, Joshua Hagan, and Spiral for the GCW Middleweight Championship. Eddie, you've seen a lot of these matches. You've seen every combination of this match I think there is. Your thoughts on this upcoming epic event?
Well, first, I thought it was supposed to be a triple threat. Spiral O'Hagan and Mike Cruz. That was something that was... Huh?
What did I say?
You were just going back to forth instead of three-way.
What?
Did you bring up all three?
It is a triple threat. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I believe Bullet booked that one back last month. He actually booked it that night. Because he's like, if they want to talk about it, the fans want it, go ahead, give it to them. I'm good. And for which I'm very appreciative.
Well, the guys out there ringside. I'm just saying, if I misspoke, I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's cool. Yeah, I've seen every incarnation of this match known to humankind, except for a triple threat. And I just have to wonder, because the person that is in the most unique circumstance right now is Josh O'Hagan. Mike Cruz basically showed the fact he wasn't worried about the alliance between the powers that be and the foundation of professional wrestling. That championship means more to him than that alliance does. Justifiably so. Remember, championships, pay window. Beautiful thing. Still holds true. But O'Hagan, as we all know, does have a tendency to want to be a little bit of a diplomat in certain circumstances. Because he's trying to be respectful to what was originally in place between the PTB and the Foundation. But also, he wants that belt. He wants the middleweight championship. Championship, pay window. Spiral has both people gunning at him, but here's the part that Cruz and O'Hagan need to understand. He's gunning for them just as much. Will this be a don't blink match? Folks, you've heard me use this line on multiple occasions as it pertains to people who know how to go and go at a pace that is beyond frantic. This will probably be a top 10 candidate for Don't Blink Match of the Year, because you have got three tremendously gifted individuals. Mike Cruz, Human Highlight Reel, formerly the Brotherhood, 5-Star Fight Club, now with the PTB, Josh O'Hagan. And he's not representing the Underground. He is the Underground, the Bosnian War Child, the Complete Wrestling Machine, Spiral. God, how do I get all these nicknames right? And I keep messing mine up. These three have remarkable skill set, remarkable move set, remarkable in-ring attitude. They know what they're doing every second. So I don't care if you live in Tennessee, Mississippi, Georgia, Alabama, Florida, Louisiana, Arkansas, doesn't effing matter, South Carolina, come on down. This match in and of itself, you can be a skeptic all day long, but this match will make you an even bigger fan of pro wrestling all over again.
This is a match that if you're a wrestling fan, the one time you owe it to yourself to catch a match is this match. Joshua O'Hagan has been a thorn in my side for a very long time. Okay. Eddie, you and I talked about this. He was part of my honorable mentions. If I were to start a company with wrestling, he is one of those guys, if you want to make money, if you have a bad match with him, get out. Johnny Slaughter, if you have a bad match with him, get out. There's certain individuals that are complete leaders, complete ring generals, and can work with because it's hard. It's hard enough to be a ring general, but to work with the caliber of guys just getting into the business, those two are two of the best, and the two best I've ever been around. And of course, they're both humble and would say, oh, well, that's just how we brought up, etc. And yes, that is true.
But excellent teachers.
But Spiral is one of those guys, you got to catch him now because he's going to be gone before you know it. Amazing athlete. Mike Cruz, to be on the road with the Circle of Disrespect, to be a part of the Circle of Disrespect, to be a part of the quote-unquote show in a box, those guys, they push themselves to the limit. They make their living
off wrestling. Putting butts in seats.
Yes, and talk about putting butts in seats. There you go. Mike Cruz just defeated Gabriel Dean at GCW. what did you think of that match? Mike Cruz against Gabriel Dean, which happened right before the match that led up to the triple threat, the match between Joshua Hagan and Spiral.
Gabriel, the Archangel Gabriel, has been learning, and you have to respect that. After the series, after 2 matches that he had with the Mystic Mudbone, this kid picked up some very valuable lessons.
Yes.
And I'm going to sit back and say this. Mr. Cruz kind of took Gabriel a little bit too lightly in Pell City on that outing. Gabriel, I have a feeling, is going to be in the mix for that Cruiserweight Championship, Middleweight Championship, by the end of the year. At the rate that he is learning, at the rate he is picking things up, legit, straight up across the board, the kid gets better every outing, and he's a rank rook. He is a pure rook. There is something about rooks in Global Championship Wrestling. There's something about rooks that go through Mad Dog's House of Pain. Now, let me stop there and let me go in and say this. I am not the commissioner of Global Championship Wrestling anymore. That has been taken care of thanks to Global Warfare. Bullet Bob Armstrong is the face of the commissioner's office of Global Championship Wrestling. I no longer have anything to do with it. I am an announcer. I am part of the commentary team.
I don't leave them alone, people.
Wait a minute. Here's where I'm going with this. I get paid to put people over on the microphone at the shows. I don't get paid a damn thing to put people over here on this show. And if somebody stinks, if they're stinking up the house, if they're like a fart in church or roadkill, or if they're like party, if they're like skunk soup, ole, if they're like skunk soup, I'll tell you. If somebody's stinking up the joint, I will. If they're like Motley Crue at a bar mitzvah, I'll tell you. Because like I said, in this forum, on my station, on Wick's show, I don't get paid to put anybody over. I don't have to. I'll do. I will, however, tell the truth. Ding, 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 ding.
And God help anybody that's in the room with all 3 of us. You're like, who could get to them first?
Oh, I know. You're exactly right.
To tell them they're stinking up the joint.
Like I said, if they're like Motley Crue at a bar mitzvah, I'll freaking tell you.
Good. Ixnay.
That's the Latin denomination of Judaism.
I mean,
I can quit.
And y'all know.
Let's talk about the difference between the match. Gabriel wrestled Mudbone and then turned around and was immediately thrown to Mike Cruz.
Wow. What a difference, first of all.
Yes, exactly.
So props to Gabriel for having the guts to step up.
Gabriel wrestled at WWA 4 under Mr. Hughes for a short period of time. So it wasn't his very first match.
Right.
But it's his first match on a bigger
at this
scale.
Level.
Yes, exactly. And to wrestle Mudbone twice, to get the crap beat out of you.
I saw the beating that kid took from Mudbone. The prolonged beating that might add.
Once you see it on YouTube,
wow.
It is just like, you're just like, oh my God, this is.
But that kid got back up.
You're just like, stay down, please.
But
stay
he
down.
kept getting back up.
He kept getting back up.
He did.
By the end of it, you're like,
stay down,
Rudy. But that's
he's got heart. He's got guts and heart.
That's all you can ask for. Now, if I can,
and he's getting better.
Now, if I can just get him to look me in the eyes when he shakes my hand, like, hey.
Well, he doesn't even acknowledge I'm in the room.
Oh,
so
he's very quiet. He's Doom Light.
Yes.
And there's a Dugan for you out there.
Dugan.
So we know that match. We also know Francisco against Clyde Braddock. Holy shit.
There's going to be a beating.
Woo! Clyde owes you, bro, first of all.
Dear God. Francisco, I know we just talked to Dany Only about you. Francisco, ring general. Francisco is amazing. Francisco, was he in your top 10, or was he your honorable mention?
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention.
And he's just a hell of a guy.
Yeah, great guy. But a great worker.
Yes.
A great worker.
Professional.
Oh, am I selling storylines here, or am I selling truth?
Truth. Oh,
yes.
Fuck truth.
Okay. In ring.
Fuck truth, but truth.
In ring, the man's got it. The man has genuinely got it. look, if there is somebody in the world of professional wrestling that I would tell people to watch closely, it's Chiazzo. Because the man never stops. Whether it's in the ring, whether it's working out, whether it's working on promos, whether it's... look, he parallels me in the shameless promotion department. And y'all know that's effing hard to do. That's hard to do. And that's legit. If there is one person who is the genuine definition of the words hardworking man, thank you, Brooks and Dunn, it's Francisco Chiazzo. I know some damn promoters that could take lessons from Chiazzo. And that, my friends, is a shoot. And I know some are listening. In order to be a success... Excuse me. Must go my side for 1 minute here. Ladies and gentlemen in the pro wrestling world, if you want to understand the word success as it pertains to professional wrestling, it is the word never ending. If you think you can go for a day and sit on your ass for 3, you're not going to make shit in this business. If you think you can go for 2 and sit down for 4, you're not going to make shit in this business. It doesn't matter if you're in-ring talent, referee, an announcer, a promoter, a booker, a ring renter. It doesn't matter. It's a never-ending cycle. It's a vicious circle par excellence. So once again, if you think it's a start-stop thing, think again. Getting ahead in the world of pro wrestling, it doesn't matter if it's Pell City, Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia, Slidell, Louisiana, Houston, Texas, Los Angeles, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, Chicago, Illinois. It can be Paducah or Poughkeepsie.
Yay.
It is a non-stop, never-ending push. You want to say you strive for excellence? That's a marathon, not a sprint. Get that through your heads.
Exactly.
And that's my side of the coin. Fuck off.
Good.
Yay!
That was awesome. We got one. When it rains, it pours, and tails never fails. There you go.
I mean, is there anything that y'all want to counteract or follow up on what I said just now?
Absolutely not.
You were on point, and we could not agree more.
Lies, lies, lies. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The only other thing that I would actually add to that would be in the words of one of my favorite comedians over the last decade. Okay. God love you, Carlos Mencia.
Eddie, what does the radio show have upcoming, sir? How can everyone get in touch with you?
Okay, let me go ahead and break this to everybody. As I made public recently, because of extenuating circumstances, we've been the app, which this is not our fault. There is a company that has been kind enough to help us work on the app for Google Play, for Android, and for Amazon, and for BlackBerry, and for Apple. Unfortunately, some of the people that they represent aren't very particular about following the rules about copyrighted content. Ask anybody who knows me. 99% of the stuff that I play here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network and the Beyond Ringside family of shows is royalty free. Go to TEKNOAXE.com. Technoax. Matthew Huffaker. God love you, man. Puts out some tremendous music and is kind enough to let us run a lot of it here on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. To be determined show. Beyond Ringside Live, Back to Basics, WrestleRage, and when it was active, the show with Ted Guinness and Cause and Effect. Just about all of our shows were running music from Technoax. Copyright free, royalty free. I have been in contact with the company that handles our app. We are making arrangements now to get everything back in through a different run. I'm actually going to be posting it myself through the Beyond Ringside account on Google Play. So hopefully by this time next week, the Beyond Ringside Radio app will be available for Android again. It is still available for Amazon. It is still available for BlackBerry. And I don't have the effing money to pay Apple so I can get it listed on iTunes. So I'm sorry. But like I said, money's been a bitch lately around here, and it's a bitch I wish would come back. It's the only bitch I wish would come back. However, That's bad. That was totally wrong, and I apologize. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart. As black as my heart may be. But as soon as situations get in play, we're going to, like I said, we should be back on Amazon for Android a week from today. And as soon as the money makes itself prevalent, I'll be more than happy to try to get back on Apple. So that's the best I can tell you. We're going to be back in full bloom this coming Sunday thanks to the pay-per-view. I'm not sure what Corey and Stan are going to do. They're probably going to want to go at 11 o'clock p.m. right after the pay-per-view. Beyond Ringside Live at 6:30 p.m. Central. Back to Basics will be on hold next Tuesday night because GCW Radio is supposed to be coming back for one night only next Tuesday night. Wick, keep your eyes open on BeyondRingside.com, and for me personally, Fast Eddie Layne, LAYNE.com.
I want to say thank you to Corey for coming on for a brief time. Thank you to Dany Only for coming on. Thank you to everyone that has listened to us as of recently, given the YouTube views, likes, and shares. Thank you to everyone that is mentioning us. And thank you to everyone that catches us live and on the replays, Podomatic, etc., etc. Angie, how can everyone get in touch with you?
On Twitter, Angie_Nemesis. On Instagram, GingerGoddess1.
You can contact me at Wicked Nemesis on Twitter. As I said earlier, the Merchants of Death, the Unlucky Charms, still have a Facebook fan page. Sevenfold Saints, The True Determined Show, Beyond Ringside, of course, has one. And give us a like and a share. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. We can take criticism. Thank you to everyone that's listened to us live tonight for Fast Eddie Layne.
Before we go, Wick, all of tonight's guests have appeared courtesy on the
PCSS hotline.
Yes.
Yay, I got it right. Yay.
Give the plug, damn it.
I know I forgot I was going to do it at the very beginning, but we have been nonstop, as I said earlier. And we talked about there.
Per normal.
Oh, dear God, yes, this has been one of those weeks. Thank you. We're here, lovely Xanadu. Once again, we're out on the patio. No one is fornicating. There's no huffing. It is all crickets. We are out here.
Shout out to Neil Saley for listening tonight up in Canada. He said he was going to give us a listen.
All the way, eh?
If that's blind Neil over in the chat room right now, Neil, thank you for jumping in the chat room. Grubby, great to see you in the chat also.
That'd be Neil. Good evening, Neil. Thank you.
And thank you to everyone, as I've said, that has caught the replays as well. I look forward to the YouTube slideshow. Eddie, great work with that. We appreciate that. We appreciate you putting on Fast Eddie Layne, and Beyond Ringside. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Always a pleasure.
We saw that. I was like, holy shit, it's everywhere. That's fantastic. I think I liked all three of them. I'm not sure. As I said, I am actually a sociopath. So that's quite all right.
As opposed to?
A psychopath.
Yes.
Do your homework, damn it.
Yes.
Good night. Good luck. Leave your week to be determined. Don't be a maybe. Be a definite forever forward.
Greetings and welcome to the YouTube home of Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. I'm the Magic City Motormouth Fast Eddie Layne with your invitation to check out all of the original programming featured both here and on Beyond Ringside Sports Radio. Simply drop over to BeyondRingside.com, or you can give us a listen on the Beyond Ringside Radio app available for Amazon, Android, and BlackBerry products, as well as the TuneIn Radio mobile app available for all formats. Featuring free-form discussion, interviews with stars and promoters from the worlds of pro wrestling, mixed martial arts, and more, as well as your opportunity to let your opinions be known. And I'll be honest with you, we never know what's going to happen next around here. Thank you for hanging with us, and we definitely hope you enjoy the ride. This is Beyond Ringside Sports Radio.